Hey guys, my name's Kim and this is my channel Expedition Through Pages. Today I am doing the Witches and Book tag, which is a tag video that goes alongside my book club that I run with Hannah from Hannah's blog, which is called the X Book Club. So this round of the X Book Club we're reading all about witches and everything like that. And so we thought we'd do another tag video to go with it because we really enjoy doing them. This video is going to be quite short and sweet, I think. I've gone through our questions and I found it really hard to actually answer some of them. So if any of you guys end up doing a tag, then I hope you have better luck than me because I found them quite difficult. But yeah, let's get started. So question number one is, what's your favourite book with a witch on the cover? And I had a look at my own shelves and I don't really have any books with witches on the cover apart from the two books that we're reading for the X Book Club this round. And out of the two of those, I do really like this penguin one, the Penguin Book of Witches. It's literally, the reason I like it so much, oh sorry for the reflection, is because of the moon, and I love the moon. So that's basically the real reason. So it's not really because of the witch. But yeah, I really enjoy the witch silhouette in front of the lovely moon. Question number two is, witches have been associated with devil worshipping and working with the devil in the past. Can you name a book featuring the underworld or demons in some way? And the book that I went with that I think fits really well is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I think I have the second book up here because I've only read The Bear and the Nightingale, and the second book is The Girl in the Tower. And the first book follows a lot of themes to do with religion and to do with kind of Christianity versus folklore. And I don't know if I think they are called demons in the first book. I think they're called demons. But they're not like demons like evil little things, but they're like demons that are from this kind of folk religion rather than Christianity, and so seen as bad because of that. And I think it fits really well with themes that are mentioned in this book, which is the history of magic and witchcraft that we're reading for the X Book Club as well, where there's a lot of talk about where stereotypes about witches come from, flying on the Sabbath and all this kind of thing, making other sects of religion and what that means versus Christianity and stuff like that. There's a lot of talk of religion in here, and so I think that The Bear and the Nightingale kind of follows along the same kind of theme lines in a way. From what I can remember, I read it quite a long time ago. Question number three is, if you were a witch, which spell would you perform or want to perform? And I'm going to be really, really boring here because at the moment, to be perfectly honest, if there was a kind of spell I could put on people, it would be to see someone else's point of view and to like feel how somebody else feels about something. Because, I don't want to get into it too much, but obviously with Brexit and pandemic and all that kind of stuff, it's been really difficult to see other people's points of view. Myself, like being one of those people that find it difficult to see other people's points of view, other people treating me that way, blah, 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 blah. And so I just wish I could just cast a magic wand and be like, this is how I feel about it, and okay, cast it on me, this is how they feel about it, and try and put things in perspective a little bit more. So, boring adult answer to that one, sorry about that. Question number four. Classical mythology's construction of an evil witch, like brewing concoctions to cause harm, influenced actual practices of magic and witchcraft. Name a favourite folk or mythical tale that features magic or supernatural events. Now, I got a bit confused with this because I thought that I'd written the question, I wrote that question in particular, and I thought I'd written something else featuring the underworld, but that was question number two. So basically, this kind of doesn't make too much sense, but I guess when you're talking about gods and Greek gods, everything that they could do was kind of magical in a way, and supernatural, so I'm going with that. But I read, well, I didn't quite finish it actually, I think I've got a very, very small bit to go, but I was kind of all mythed out towards the end of this book. But I started reading Mythos a while ago, and one of my favourite stories from this book was about Cupid and Psyche, and about their kind of love affair. And I remember thinking at the time, they just really reminded me of Beauty and the Beast. So there's like this enchanted castle. I think from what I can remember, excuse me if I'm wrong, but Psyche can't see Cupid, or she's not allowed to see Cupid. So they're in this relationship that she's not allowed to see him physically. She can only feel him at night. And then there's like, it's about love, and then it's also about revenge in parts. and at some stage the underworld is involved very slightly at the end, at least in this version of the story. So yeah, that is one of my favourite stories I read from this book, and just the fact that it reminded me of Beauty and the Beast I found really fascinating. So I recommend giving that a read if you're into some myths. Question number 5 is, if you were a witch, what animal would you choose to be your familiar? So I looked up like familiars and the animal shapes that they could take in, and it's like toad, dog, insect or black cat, but I was like, actually I'm just going to choose what I want, and what I would want is a sea otter because I love otters. Actually my favourite animal is an elephant, but don't think you could be very like sneaky with an elephant and like send them on your missions and stuff. So I'm going with sea otter. Although they spend a lot of time in the water, so I don't know how helpful they would be either. Yeah, I just googled sea otters on land and they don't look like they walk very fast on land, so that backfires for my sneaking plotting around. Anyway, I still go with sea otter. Question number 6 is, witches, magic or curses used to be blamed for bad luck and or bad behaviour that happened in a town or village. Can you name a book with a character that doesn't take responsibility for their own actions? And I was thinking about this one for ages, and I just couldn't think of anything that wouldn't be spoilery to say. So rather than a character, I've gone with characters, and I'm choosing Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. Basically, if you don't know what this is, it's about Morrigan Crow, who when she's like 10, 11 or throughout her childhood, everyone blames her for everything. Like any kind of bad luck that happens in her town, she's to blame for it. And so that is an example of basically a whole load of people just being mean and blaming a child for things that have happened to them or things that they've done that have gone wrong. Really basic stuff as well. So if you haven't read the Nevermore series, I really recommend it if you like magical worlds and stuff like that. It's one of the most creative series that I've ever read. I still need to read book 3 in the series, which came out last year. I say we because me and my boyfriend were reading this together, but yeah, that's why I'm kind of waiting for him to get on with it so we can read it together. I might have to dump him out and read it on my own. Okay, question number 7 is, which fictional witch, that's really hard to say, can you hear me lisping? Which fictional witch do you wish you could befriend so you could defend if they were put on trial? Yeah, which witch do you want to be your mate so you can defend them if they're on trial, basically? And I don't really read books with like loads of witches in, to be perfectly honest. So for this, I've gone with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because when I was a kid growing up in the 90s, I loved that show. It was so good. And yeah, I would always defend Sabrina. I really rate Sabrina, so I pick her. And finally, what is your favourite magical world? This comes as no surprise to anybody that my favourite magical world is Robin Hobb's The Realm of the Elderlings magical world. I absolutely love being in that world. I love thinking about that world. Some of the magic there is just crazy. They do have different types of magic as well. So there's magic where humans can go in each other's minds, and there's magic where animals and humans can communicate together. And there's like charm magic, so like more traditional witchy magic, putting spells on people, making charms, that kind of stuff. And there's other different types of magic as well. And yeah, it's just really interesting and fascinating, and I really love being in that world. Cool, so that's the last question in the tag. I'm not going to tag anyone specifically to do this, but if you are joining in with the book club and you'd like to do it, then absolutely feel free. If you're not joining in with the book club and you'd like to do it, feel free to. Yeah, either way is absolutely fine. And if you want to do it and you wanted to share it, then please do link it in the comments down below, because I'd love to check it out. So Hannah and I are going to be doing some reading sprints later today on Hannah's channel. So if this video's only gone up a few hours ago, then you can head over to Hannah's channel, which will be linked down below, and it's at 7 BST. That we're beginning them. We're going to run them till about 9. So just a couple of hours of reading sprints to get on with the witchy books. Cool, so that's everything for today. I will see you in the next one very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.